Welcome to the Unmistakably Magic Podcast. Here's the news recorded October 26th, 2017.
We're bringing to you some news about a new Disneyland hotel, a new quick service location at Hollywood Studios, and a new Legoland park.
What?
Crazy. Let's kick it off. Well, the Holy Land experience at in Orlando actually just offered some free admission into the park yesterday when we were recording this, so on Wednesday, October 25th. I really just put this into the news because I didn't know that this was a thing, but apparently each year they're required by a 2006 law to offer free admission for 1 day in order to remain exempt from paying taxes. However, this was actually the second free day that the park has offered this year, with the first being back in January.
It makes sense if they're a not-for-profit or a non-profit, they may even have suggested prices or suggested donations for their ticket prices.
Sure they do. Well, no, because they do require you to pay $50 to get into the park.
Do they?
Yes. However, I don't know how they remain.
I don't know.
Could Disney get on this? Can I get free admission? Could
No.
Universal get on this? Can I get free admission to Universal?
It's probably something to do with their not-for-profit or non-profit.
I'm sure it's something with their parent company. It's like the Trinity
Broadcasting.
Yeah,
network
it's Trinity
or whatever,
Broadcast Network or something like that. Yeah, they own them, so it's.
There's probably something where you can say $50 per person is what the operation costs are, so we're going to cover that.
And then beyond
and then beyond that or whatever is donations or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be curious to find out. Well, it's a Small World holiday. We'll finally be getting the Fast Pass / Max Pass treatment during the entirety of its overlay. The pass scanners have already been installed at the entrance to the attraction, and this edition has only been announced for the holiday layover. However, there is a possibility that it could roll over into usage for the standard attraction. It's a Small World holiday opens Friday, November 10th at Disneyland.
All right. Well, that's good.
Do you think
it's a good use?
Do you think Small World needs a Fast Pass?
In Disneyland, yes.
I don't think it does.
There's been a couple times I've tried to go to it, and it's.
You've also tried to go to it during the Christmas season.
That is true.
Like, when was the last time you were at Disneyland?
It was February, and it was still like a 45-minute wait.
I would say I don't think it needs a Fast Pass. However, if it did utilize a Fast Pass or Max Pass, I think that would be beneficial because then it would alleviate a lot more attractions.
Yes.
That actually would.
Well, and
require
I would say this is really good use based off of what we saw with Haunted Mansion's seasonal layover and that whole debacle.
That was a ridiculous wait. What was that up to? Like 3 hours, 4
Like
hours?
that, yeah. I'm like, for
on the
Haunted
opening
Mansion?
day?
I know.
I feel so bad for people who are there just on vacation.
I knew somebody who was.
And
they were like, what is going on? They had no idea.
Yeah, no.
They were like, why is the Haunted Mansion so... Like, they were like, what is this?
It's the stinking annual pass holders.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Kill it. It stinks. I don't know. I think at times Small World should do what Haunted Mansion does, which is like, if it's a busy enough day or predicted to be busy enough, then they'll incorporate Fast Pass. Yeah. However, if it's not,
that's smart. Yeah.
You know. Well, a new quick service restaurant has been announced for Hollywood Studios. Woody's Lunchbox will open alongside the rest of Toy Story Land and will be sponsored by Minnie Babybel. A full menu is expected to be released soon, but the location is said to serve soda floats.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun. Like an old soda fountain kind of feel.
I don't know about an old soda fountain feel.
Soda floats.
Soda floats.
Yeah.
I want a Orange Crush float.
With vanilla ice cream in
Those are delicious.
Yeah.
I actually just had one tonight.
Where?
Dining hall, man. Dining hall. Got to get the freshmen to swipe you in and then teach them the good stuff, the good combinations. Throw some ice cream and hot chocolate, which, pro tip for you, if you've never done that before, makes it amazing. Like, infinitely better.
I'm sure.
Somehow. It's so good. We didn't see anything from Woody's Lunchbox at all in the announcement of Toy Story Land. So I'm curious to see if it'll just be another standard quick service with like an emphasis on floats or
sit down.
Well, it is a quick service.
It is a quick service.
So I don't know if it'll just be like standard food, like burgers.
I'm
and
guessing
stuff.
it probably will
But that
be.
park
What else would it be?
That park has no variation of food whatsoever in its
I know.
quick service location.
We've actually, my wife and I have talked about several times about how
it's so bad.
it's the worst at that because it's literally burgers, chicken strips, sandwiches, hot dogs, and it's at every single quick service.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no variation. So I really hope that they actually throw some variation into this.
I don't know what you do though. I mean, it's
Toy Story themed. I don't know. What do toys eat?
Zerg's battery pack.
Other toys? Batteries? Yeah.
Sid's grill.
Just over caffeinated menu items. Full of sugar.
Yeah. I don't know what you do.
Just monster infused things.
Yeah, I don't know what you do because I don't know. Like Animal Kingdom offers the opportunity to serve, Asian inspired this or that, but that would feel
African
weird.
inspired cuisine.
That would feel
and stuff.
weird
Yeah.
to have it like, oh, Woody's lunchbox is Chinese food. Like what?
I think Hollywood Studios is the most amusement park feeling theme park at Disney.
I would agree with that.
And that is why it will always be at the bottom of my list.
Yeah.
There's nothing really special about it.
Until Star Wars Land's open.
Even then, though, that'll be a minor variation on it. You're going to get blue milk. Cool.
Well, no, because they could do like Pandora where they did
They could do some space food stuff, but...
cheeseburger buns or the stir fry. You could bring in other elements that are different.
You could do some space food stuff, so I think that will definitely help it, but I don't think it will make up for the rest of the park.
No, that's true.
It'll just be...
pizzas, hot dogs, cheeseburgers,
and I have
chicken strips.
I have a feeling most people, when they go into Star Wars Land, will want to have cheeseburgers, hot dogs, chicken strips, blah, blah, blah type of garbage that they can get everywhere else because that's what else is offered in that park.
They do. Backlot Express has chicken and waffles.
It's true. They do. Yep. Chicken and another carb.
Which is basically their chicken strip meal served with Darth Vader waffles.
Yeah.
So, whatever, okay?
I don't know. Why can't they do what Universal does with Universal's pretty bad about it too.
Don't use them as an example here.
Green eggs and ham, man, when that's in season. That's pretty dope.
I think it's just that park, which we could debate this sometimes, so we're not killing the news hour, but I think it's just that park doesn't have the opportunities that an Epcot with the World Showcase.
No, not at all. And
Animal Kingdom with, the
world.
world.
It's a park themed to the movies. Incorporate some movie food. Where's the green eggs and ham? Where's the...
You can't do that. Universal owns it.
Okay, what...
See?
Where's the cool blue drinks from Tron?
In the Light Lab over at Epcot during Food and Wine.
They just don't use it. They don't use their material that they're throwing in there.
I know. I don't disagree.
Whatever. Universal's Classic Monster Cafe has received some much-needed updates. The restaurant now features busts of classic monsters, new effects including a lightning storm similar to the one that brought Frankenstein's monster to life, as well as all new paintings and lighting throughout the restaurant.
Cool.
This is only over in Florida.
Yeah.
In Orlando.
It's one of the busier locations.
It was a very busy, that's where we ate last time that I was there. Yeah. It's a good spot. It was really cool to see kind of all the old school memorabilia, the old school costuming and everything. Yeah. That's a quick service with subpar food done right.
Theme park food, but done right.
Yeah. The food was meh, but the theming around there was great. What the heck, Hollywood Studios?
Get on it.
I don't want to just be sitting under like a shanty shack and call it good, whatever. Even Paris's Hollywood studio, the Walt Disney Studios in Paris.
Did you forget the name?
I did. The Walt Disney Studios in Paris, their Backlot Express had a fully themed area that was themed to like Pirates of the Caribbean. It was like you're on the helm of the ship.
I feel like that's one of those things that is going to have to be on the project list as Hollywood Studios continues to evolve.
To update stuff. Yeah. Well, Duffy's friend Gelatoni has arrived at Shanghai Disneyland. Gelatoni is a cat with a passion for painting, and her arrival is being celebrated with a new line of collectibles and merchandise, including backpacks, plush toys, t-shirts, pins, and more.
Cool.
They really like the stuffed animal
Neato Frito
things
Yeah.
over in Tokyo. And
highly
Hong Kong.
anticipated over here, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I hope Gelatoni comes to the American park.
Actually, the backstory of how they met was Duffy and Mickey were in Italy, and Mickey spilled his gelato, and Gelatoni made a painting out of it.
Oh, gosh.
And Duffy and Gelatoni have been hanging out ever since.
Wow.
I am not surprised this is not a big thing in the U.S. at all.
I know.
Like, at all. Well, Disney Springs is gearing up for the release of Coco with the Coco Family Celebration. The event will include themed music, food, and decor that will light up the west side of Disney Springs each night from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. from October 27th through November 26th. Coco arrives in theaters November 22nd.
They're bringing the drones back?
I wonder. I don't know. Do some Sugar
some
Skull
Coco.
display stuff.
Coco drones?
That'd be cool. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't release any of that. There's going to be face painting.
I doubt it.
Face painting and mariachi band stuff.
It's cool.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot with Coco over in Disneyland, too.
Not really.
No.
That's just Dia de los Muertos
Wow.
type of deal that they always do over in California Adventure.
Oh, yeah, I forget.
It is a movie about Dia de los Muertos, but I was going to say, though, this is like the first Coco thing that we've really seen at the
True.
parks.
I guess so.
Or the resorts. So,
Surprise.
yeah.
Makes me
Normally
wonder
they're a
if
little-
yeah.
Normally they're a little like
There's
"Here's
character meet and
Coco, let's
greet,
go."
yeah.
type
Yeah,
of
I
deal.
was thinking, like,
So
Inside Out, they had the characters out greeting already.
we are still little under a month away though from the release of it. So
Maybe we'll see
imagine a
more
little
after.
closer or shortly after the release we might see something, depending on how that first weekend does.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, you can now book Disney on Broadway dining packages for the 2018 Epcot International Festival of the Arts. The package includes a meal before the 5:30, 6:45, or 8 p.m. concert that features pairings of Disney on Broadway stars. The Epcot International Festival of the Arts runs from January 12th through February 19th, 2018.
Which then it turns into the Epcot Flower and Garden.
Flower and Garden Festival.
Which then
Right
immediately
after
goes
the-
into summer, and then it turns into the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
It goes from food and wine to brief holiday to Festival of the Arts to Flower Garden to brief summer to
Food
where
wine.
the summer is the only time that Epcot isn't celebrating something or like themed around something as a whole, which is where I want to go because OG Epcot is the best Epcot.
I don't know. Food and Wine's pretty hard to beat, though.
There's just a lot of people, a lot of annual pass holders
Oh,
over there.
jeez. Get over it. Get over it.
Well, in some really big news this week, Earl of Sandwich Rainforest Cafe, AMC Downtown 12, and ESPN Zone will all be closing over at Downtown Disney to make way for Disneyland Resort's fourth on-site hotel. The new Four Diamond Hotel will feature 700 rooms, an upper-level restaurant, shops, and several restaurants on the ground level, as well as connecting all four hotels of the Disneyland Resort through gardens and landscaped pathways. Construction on the new hotel will begin in 2018 with an expected opening in 2021.
Interesting.
I don't think they need this.
That's what I was going to say, too. I felt like, are they filling up the other three to the point where they need to knock out business to...
I would be astounded. However, they did say that some of the businesses may be operating within the hotel on the ground level. So I could see Earl of
I
Sandwich
was
sticking
thinking like
around.
Earl of Sandwich could probably stick around and be on the ground level.
Maybe Rainforest.
Maybe Rainforest. Maybe
Not a movie
ESPN Zone,
theater.
but not a movie theater.
Not a movie theater. I don't see ESPN Zone sticking around much longer either. I don't see that operating at all.
Yeah, there's not a lot of those left in general, too, actually, I was going to say.
No,
even the
if you look at-
Rainforests, too, aren't as prevalent as they
They're
used
really
to
the only rainforests that I can think of are on Disney property.
be. Yeah.
Like I don't think there's any Universal
like,
properties
well, and
or
like,
anything.
There used to be one here in Denver, but it closed.
Yeah, it closed
and same
forever.
with the ESPN zone.
Yeah. And I think you also look at just ESPN in general. That's kind of fading away and making way towards like kind of a more online prevalent service.
Yes.
Like you look at like Barstool Sports, for example.
Did you know they were trying to do a partnership with them for a while?
They did do a partnership with them for a while, and then that went south real quick.
I noticed that.
So I think ESPN in general is just kind of on the downhill, and Disney is just figuring out a way to either revamp it as a whole and removing ESPN Zone and then maybe throwing something new there or new in its place, same type of deal or something. I don't know. I don't see ESPN Zone making a comeback. I don't see AMC making a comeback.
No, I don't think you need a movie theater on Disney property.
Especially
in land when you're surrounded by LA, which has hundreds and thousands of movie theaters.
You do not need another movie theater that is way more priced than every other movie theater around there, except for like the ones on Sunset Boulevard or on Hollywood Boulevard. You don't need another one in LA. No. Disney World, that makes a little more sense. You're more isolated.
Well, and I think Springs is a totally different. I'm kind of glad they actually called it Disney Springs because in my mind it moves downtown Disney and Springs are two different things in my mind. Because Springs is an entire different off area that's still on property but off of everything else's property, where downtown Disney kind of bridges the gap between the two parks and the hotels. And
it's the gateway between the hotels and the parks.
Yeah, where Springs is a shopping center that's in Orlando but happens to be owned by Disney, essentially.
Pretty much. However, back to this hotel, though. Did you see renderings of it?
I did, yeah.
What do you think of it? I think it looks
fine.
I think it looks bland.
Yeah,
I
didn't.
A little ugly.
I was just surprised to see this news. I was like,
yeah,
really? Because I really don't. Again, like I said, are they filling the other three hotels at the point where a fourth one's really necessary?
And what price point is this hotel going to be
at? 4 diamonds. So is this a? Is it? Are they trying to push into the luxury market?
Ultra luxury market.
But isn't that what Grand Californian was supposed to be doing? And really, to me, I would rather, as someone who visits, have a more budget option than even the Disneyland Hotel or the Paradise Pier Hotel.
Because Paradise Pier Hotel is the lowest option that you have.
And it's still way more expensive than anything surrounding the property.
If you're 3 blocks away, you can get a hotel on average for about half the price of a Paradise Pier room.
Yes. Because I looked at it once and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No point.
I was like, yeah, nope, not
Granted,
doing it.
I haven't stayed in a hotel in years since I've gone to Disneyland.
Yeah, but I have, and I'll tell you that when I looked, and when I've looked again, I'm like, yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. So I don't understand the warrant for the if there is a need for this. I am astounded by it. If there isn't, and they're just kind of trying to throw in a new hotel just for the sake of throwing in a new hotel, that's astounding to me too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this is warranted. I don't think it's needed, and I think it looks a little ugly.
Yeah, and I'm fine with the businesses that are going away because I don't think they contribute that much to downtown Disney.
Earl of Sandwich is great. That's the only one I'm kind of bummed
but
about.
I have a feeling it'll be back.
Yeah.
Like we said. But like we said, the theater is no loss. ESPN Zone, not really a huge loss.
No.
And Rainforest Cafe, really not a huge loss. So it's like, I can understand this, but why not do something like the Splitsville? You know, why not build a bigger Splitsville then?
Or do something other than like do more theme stuff like you're doing over at Disney Springs, like bring in like an Edison or you know, like the Hangar Bay Cafe or the Hangar Bay or something like that.
Yeah, why not bring in more dining?
Yeah. More options.
I don't know, this is weird.
Plus, I don't even think there's like going to be a pool with it at all. So
because it's not that big of a space that they're talking about occupying.
No, it's a tiny space. The amenities in this hotel aren't going to be the greatest. I don't understand how it's going to work and why they're doing it.
I don't either.
However, this next bit of news, I do understand why they're doing it.
Yes.
Because it's necessary. Disneyland is also revamping their parking situation. 2 new garages will be built, the first of which will be located on the land of the current Pinocchio parking lot and will house 6,500 spaces, with construction beginning February 2018 and an opening of 2019. To give you some perspective on that, the Mickey and Friends parking structure houses 10,000 spaces.
So it'll be a decent-sized garage, but still
It
not.
is massive,
Yeah.
and it's sitting right next to that garage. It's just going to be huge.
It's going to be a lot of parking.
The second will be built west of the Paradise Pier Hotel and will service the soon-to-be four Disneyland Resort hotels. There is no opening date yet for the second garage, but it is expected to be open by or before 2021.
Because that's in the hotel.
Yeah. So I would assume
Yeah.
they're going to be built in conjunction with each other, open around the
The
same
only
time.
thing I can think of, going back to it, not to beat a dead horse here, but the only thing I can think of is maybe they'll tier the pricing more, get Paradise Pier Hotel down to a more budget option, comparable to the ones nearby,
That would be nice.
then move Disneyland a little lower, then move Grand Californian maybe a little lower, and then put this one at the top,
At the height.
kind of like they do at World. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is...
That would be nice. That would actually give me some incentive to stay on property.
That would be my
Because
thing,
even
too,
when I
yeah.
don't stay with friends or family when I'm out there and stay at a hotel, I never look on property because
No,
it's
me
just
too.
so absurdly priced, and there's no
Well, and I
real...
also wonder if this might signal the end of the Good Neighbor hotel program.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
There are far too many visitors over there that would...
Impact,
No.
and they wouldn't want to lose it.
Even over at Disney World, they still have Good Neighbor Hotel. At Disneyland Paris, where they have an excess of hotel rooms. They have an excess of hotels.
Yeah.
They still have Good Neighbor Hotels.
Okay.
So I don't think that will
All right.
ever end. Well, Legoland will be opening a third gate in the U.S. Legoland New York will be located in Goshen, New York, and will open in 2020. Is it Goshen or Goshen?
I have no idea.
I think it's Goshen. The new park will operate on a seasonal basis from April 1st through November 1st each year, with a 250-room Legoland hotel that will operate year-round.
Interesting.
I am surprised that they're putting this in upstate New York.
I think the demand from the
Manhattan.
city
It's
is
like
probably enough to fill the park for those seasonal dates.
it's like an hour drive, though.
I mean, would we drive an hour to go to if we had a Legoland here?
Probably.
And it would be seasonal too, you know?
Probably, yeah.
If they're like, we're building a Legoland in Colorado Springs, we'd be like, okay, we'll go.
dope. Here we go.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's because we don't have really any theme parks.
But neither does, I mean, New York
true.
kind of does, but kind of doesn't.
Not really.
They don't have a Disneyland, you know?
No, they don't. Yeah. There's Six Flags America up there.
I think this is
That
a
is
smart
Virginia.
move.
This is a smart
It
move.
is interesting to me that it's seasonal,
No, it makes complete sense.
but
that
the
it's
hotel is
seasonal.
not. But I guess it's also weird not to have a hotel be seasonal, but because like, what are you gonna fire all your people and then
Yeah.
go, we'll see you back in May, you know?
See you in April.
We'll see you in April. We'll start getting everything ready, and then bye. It's September.
We'll get ready in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see though if this will actually bring in I think they estimated 2 million visitors every year. I'm curious
I
to
bet
see if
it
that
will.
will be actual.
I bet it will.
I mean, you do see like a lot of international people fly in to New York and hang out around there. So I'm sure
That's and
sure
an
that'll
hour,
be a huge
and an
market.
hour, and there might be a train or something too. You know, another
I'm sure there will be
transit
some
option, so-
transit options
or a shuttle
beyond
bus
just.
or whatever. Yeah.
I would be astounded if there aren't.
Yeah.
Or if they don't look into that soon. It's just cool. If you're gonna open up one in Goshen, why not Colorado? Come on,
Yeah. Where are you at? Legoland?
come on, Legoland. There's big demand here. We've got
There is.
nothing.
Well, I mean, yeah, we have.
I don't mean to rag on Elitch's, but I'm gonna rag on Elitch's. It's a tiny park.
It
Like,
is.
fix it. Let's do something. Well, in our last bit of news, Innoventions over at Disney World is finally getting an update. The Spectaculab will be an interactive show that will invite guests to join a group of real scientists and their intern for a series of thrilling experiments. The team will put scientific forces to the test, including ultrasonic pressure, barometric pressure, acceleration, and force.
I wonder if they're going to do those things to the intern. It's interesting that they would
I
say
would
intern.
assume so.
So I'm thinking the intern's probably the victim of all these things.
Why don't we just see like Muppet Lab? Just do that.
Just Muppet, not instead of
Just
the mobile one. But
Muppet
just,
Lab.
Yeah.
The Spectaculab will debut in November. So this is coming up really soon.
Yeah.
Kind of excited to see what comes of this. However, that does wrap it up for the news this week.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Make sure to go over to our YouTube. We're Unmistakably Magic. Make sure you're subscribed on iTunes if you're over on YouTube. Check out our Instagram, Unmistakably Magic, and email us unmistakablymagic@gmail.com. Have a great week.
Thanks for tuning in.